Hey guys, what is up? I hope all is good in the hood. So today we're going to be going over the mindset on running a successful business. And I think this is something that is grossly underrated when it comes down to long-term success on running a personal training business. I have done a lot behind my mindset to help me get to where I am within my business. And genuinely, if I could go back to university tomorrow, I would do a psychology degree rather than the degree that I did, airline and airport management, rather than doing that degree, because the psychology behind everything is huge. Be it my clients who want to lose fat, be it, you guys wanting to run a personal training business, the psychology is such a big part of life. I don't think it's sort of given enough attention. And this is why, the mindset behind running a successful business is one of the first things that we are going to go over. So the first thing we need to talk about is you're running a business. This is not a hobby. You are here to run a business. You are here to create the life that you want. Be it for yourself, be it for your friends, be it for your families, whatever. You are not doing this as a hobby. We need to make money. We need to keep you in business for as long as possible for you to be able to help as many people as you possibly can. And this is where I see a lot of people go wrong within their personal training career. And I've worked in several different gyms and I've seen this so often. They don't treat their business as a business. They come in when they have a client. They come in when they have a consultation. And then they go home and you don't see them again. If you were sort of working a normal 9-to-5 job, you probably wouldn't be treating that 9-to-5 job in the same way that you're treating your personal training business. But because you'll be a lot stricter with yourself within that 9-to-5, because you have a boss you have to be accountable to and all that sort of stuff. And it's so important that even though we run our own businesses and all that sort of stuff, we do still fundamentally have people who have to hold us to account. And that, literally could be everything from your clients. You need to do your clients' programming. You need to help them with their nutrition support. You need to do that work there. It could be your family at home. You need to be going out, earning money to be able to give your kids, your other half, your family, whatever, the life that you want to be able to provide for them, and yourself. And yourself as well. There's no point just running this personal training business as a little bit of a side hustle, as a little bit of a hobby, because fundamentally you're not going to stay in business. And let's be honest, a lot of us do this job because we don't want to be working at 9-to-5. We don't want to be reporting into a manager and so on. We want that flexibility to live the life that we want. So really try to remember you're running a business, not a hobby. And please treat your personal training business as a business and not a hobby. And that is huge. I literally set myself office hours. And yes, okay, that sounds boring and I fully appreciate that. But the best thing about treating your personal training business as a business is you get to set your own office hours. I see so many people sitting there saying, oh, I'm struggling to get, clients at the right time. I'm struggling to manage my workload and all that sort of stuff. But you sit down with them, you go over their calendar, they have no office hours. They have no structure to their week. I'm not saying you have to set out like a 9-to-5 office hour. Set it out to be able to live the life that you want. I'm right now not a morning person. So my first morning client at the earliest is going to be 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. Then my latest could be 8, 9, 10 because I don't mind working in the evening and I'm flexible within that. Then you can have, your lunch breaks and all that sort of stuff, because it's so important that you do genuinely plan out your day. And this is something that I do a lot and has helped me a lot, is I literally have like block A, B, C and so on. So block A is all about my clients. It's about doing my clients check-in. So what is block A for me right now? Client check-in, drop them a WhatsApp message with sort of feedback on their check-in form. Go over their Trainerized account, make sure that they're doing the work. Post my leadership board for my clients. Give out the client prizes if they're eligible for a prize this week. Set that out on my story as well. Post on my story sort of the client wins for the weeks. That is my block A, my client check-ins. Everything there is all about client check-ins. I do that Monday about 2 p.m. Then block B tends to be gym floor lead gen. Going out on the gym floor and genuinely doing good lead generation. Because one thing I find interesting, and again, this goes back to sort of having your office hours. A lot of PTs who say, I'm struggling to get clients at the right time, they're not in the gym at the right time. If you want to be coaching people at 5 a.m. and then 6 a.m. then at 7 a.m., you need to be inside of the gym at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Because I made this mistake at the start of my career, and I don't want to see you guys making the same mistake as me. And that's very simply, I'm not a morning person, as I alluded to earlier on. So I will get to the gym, back when I worked in Pure Gym, 10 a.m. kind of thing. And then I was trying to build up my mornings to give me a reason to be in the gym in the morning. Now, the reality behind that, the people I was picking up, they're like me, they're not morning people. So all of a sudden you have an extra sort of sell that you need to give people to convince them to become a morning person. They're going to be a lot less reliable. They're not going to be consistent with their training because you're trying to force them into something that they're not. Same logic with you. You're not going to be able to go to the gym in the evening, have a sort of a person who's training at 5 p.m. in the evening, convince them to train at 5 a.m. in the morning. That is going to be a hell of a lot harder. So make sure with your lead generation is you do have a very clear plan, be it the timings and how you're going to go about your lead generation. One of the best lead generation tools I have ever used is quite literally, actually, I'll grab something similar right now. These wipes, dusters, whatever. Literally, people on the treadmill, just go up, clean the treadmill next to them. And just go, how's it going? Are you just doing your steps today? Done. And then you spark a conversation up of that. There's a good plan for your lead generation. Another plan for your lead generation could be just sort of walking around, giving the gym a little tidy up. And I fully appreciate when you're doing lead generation, you're not being paid by the gym or any of that, but you're cleaning the gym just to look, A, like you're busy, and B, if you're sort of putting a dumbbell away next to someone, spark up a conversation with that person because it's a lot less intimidating. It feels a lot less salesy, especially to other people, if you're there just doing stuff anyway, rather than walking up to someone and be like, hi, I'm Jordan, I'm a PT, do you want PT? Do you know what I mean? Everyone sees through that. So have a good plan with your lead generation. And this is something we will be touching on later on as well, how to run successful competitions, how to give away good free trials, how to do a good challenge, how to get people through Instagram, Facebook ads, the work. We will cover that later on. But genuinely at the start, we need to have a good plan for your lead generation. Now, a lot of people tell me this: I will do anything to grow my business. In the same way, we've probably had clients saying, I'll do anything to lose fat. We've had clients say, I'll do anything to get fitter for my kids. A lot of the time, then, even though they're saying this, they don't actually mean it, because when push comes to shove, they're not going to do absolutely anything to grow their business. And again, this is where it comes back to, you need to have the mindset where we are running a business, we're not running a hobby. So sometimes you will need to be doing things you genuinely don't really enjoy or want to be doing, be it anything from lead generation to client check-ins to programming. You will need to be doing this to grow your business. And one thing that helped me to grow my business, in my first gym when I lived in Holland, I didn't speak the language, I didn't know anyone, and I was the new guy in that gym. I had no classes to fall back on. I had no real money to fall back on. I was genuinely living within my savings. I had the proper sort of gun to the head mentality where I was like, right, I need to make this work or I'm going to have to move back to England. I had to do absolutely everything and anything to grow my business. And this is a mentality people need to be having within their business, where you need to, at least at the start, do absolutely everything you can to start growing it. And you sort of need to, in a way, earn the right to then start scaling back down your efforts. But at the start, it is a little bit of a grind. But I promise, if you keep grinding, it does get worthwhile. Now, this is something I learned a lot when I did my mentorship with Paul Mort, is we need to take personal accountability of our situation. Now, there is a difference between taking accountability and taking blame. And I really want to stress that. I'm not saying you need to blame yourself for everything that's happening within your business, within your life, but you need to be taking personal accountability of what is happening in your life. Now, a good example of this, and this is a huge mindset shift I've had that's genuinely benefited me, benefited my clients, benefited my business a hell of a lot, is when I have a client leave, 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to be cost. When people are ready to leave, they'll probably say that I can't afford it anymore, that sort of thing. They're related back to cost. Now, you have 2 approaches when it comes down to this. One, you can blame the person for being tight, Or two, you can sit down, look at your business, look at everything that they've gone through, their results and so on, and find out where do they think they weren't getting value. Because when they signed up, they see the value. When they leave, saying cost, they don't see the value. So something within there has changed. Something within there has stopped them seeing the value of your service. So rather than blaming them, why not try to take personal accountability and think, did I miss check-ins? Did I promise them something that I've not delivered on? Ask yourself what you've done not to deliver that level of value that they were expecting. And you'll notice over time you will build up more and more of a valuable business, because each time you're learning from people. It is so much easier to keep a client than get a new one. So really try to have this mindset and just genuinely take accountability for everything that happens within your business, and use everything as an opportunity to learn what to do different next time. And again, this comes off a little bit from taking personal accountability. So you start changing your language, you will change your world. And that is a huge thing, is really focus on how you're talking to yourself within your head. Focus on the language that you're using about yourself, about your business. And this is something I coach with my personal training clients as well, is you change your language, you change the world. So rather than thinking, I have to go to the gym today, think, I get to go to the gym today. Rather than thinking, I have to coach this client, think about, you get to coach this client. You start changing that, you start thinking a lot more positive, you will notice your mental health, your happiness, your energy will start being a lot more positive. Energy is contagious. If you're going to go around with crap energy, bad mental health, it's going to be reflective on your clients. And they're, again, taking personal accountability, they're not going to be seeing as much value, because you're going to be a little bit of like a downer. Now, look, we're all going to have bad days. We're all going to have down days. But it's so important that we do everything to protect our own energy, our own mental health. And I genuinely believe it starts with changing your language. So little things like, I will do anything to grow my business. A huge thing that I do with my clients, and I urge you guys to do, is change I don't have time, or it's too expensive, to it is not a priority in my life right now. And you can take that approach with your clients. I urge you to say that to your clients as well. If someone comes to me and says, I don't have time to do gym floor lead gen. No, you do have time, but it's just you're not making it enough of a priority. Now, it is your prerogative what your priorities are. I'm not telling you how to live your life here. If you've got, a sick family member at home and you need to look after them from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, then yeah, it's probably not going to be one of your top priorities to be on the gym floor doing lead gen. But if you're going home watching Netflix and you're saying you don't have enough time, and I'm recording part of this for my YouTube on my phone camera up there, so I can't actually show you this right now, but go into your screen time. Go into your screen time, see how much time you're spending on Instagram, TikTok, social media platforms, and then tell me you don't have time to do lead generation. Then tell me you don't have time to send out DMs. Then tell me you don't have time to do programming or whatever. Because that's a very, very big realization. We all have the same 24 hours. Now, I'm not doing this whole Molly May thing saying we all have 24 hours in the day, we all have equal opportunities. We don't. We all have very different responsibilities. But it is down to you sitting down and working out what the main priorities within your life is. Now, off the back of that, and this is why I'm huge on having really good language within yourself, within, your head and so on, is it makes you more of a role model towards your clients. It makes you more of a leader. If you're seen there being sort of looking after your mental health, looking after your physical health and everything in between, your clients are going to look up to you as a little bit of a role model, as someone that they aspire to be. Now, it is so important that we do take on this approach for our clients, because we want to show our clients what is possible. Because you'll notice when it comes down to personal training, business mentorship, whatever, the people that are working with you, they will within some point see that you are relatable to them. There'll be something within their head that will think, right, he gets it, this is why I want to go with him. She knows exactly what it's like, I'm going to go with her. That is how it is. So you want to make sure that you are a positive role model, you are your client's leader, and you're something that your clients aspire to be. Like, take this photo here. When I moved to Australia, I obviously couldn't do what I call the big day out with my clients. The big day out is I'd take my clients out for a few beers. As you can see, there's a lot of drinks on the table there. They did this sort of behind my back, put on my masks, pretended to be me and everything. So you really think about what sort of impact I am having on my clients' lives there. They are clearly, if they're going to go to that extent, they do look up to me as a leader. Now that made me feel really big-headed saying it, but it's because I'm very active with my clients and I show them that I do practice what I preach. So really try to focus on and ask yourself, what can you do to be more of a role model for your clients? Now, when it comes down to sort of being a role model, when it comes down to the sales sort of stuff, it's you need to have confidence in your own ability. Now, when I talk about confidence, I don't talk about you need to have abs, you need to get your kit off, all that sort of stuff anymore. But having confidence is having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt. That's from Chris Williams, and that is a beautiful quote that I use a lot with my clients. Because when it comes down to selling, when it comes down to pitching our product to our potential clients, you need to have confidence that you can get them the results. Because when you sat down and you're trying to sell them this product, when you sat down trying to convince them to sign up, they will see how confident you are with your products. And in my eyes, my clients signing up with me is huge for them. It's really, really good for them because I've got a stack of undeniable proof with the transformations I get people and the impact that I have on people's lives. So this is why now when people sign up, I'm so excited. I get so excited. They get the opportunity to transform their whole life. I get the opportunity to be part of their transformation. It's actually really exciting and I genuinely love it to bits. And this is why I don't really try to sell. I genuinely don't. Because I do hand on heart believe that the worst thing that they're going to say to you is no. But long term, that no could actually be a really, really good thing for your business. Because I'm quite strict now with the people that I work with. I want to give my energy to people who want to transform their life, who want to show up and do the work. Back when I first became a PT, I near enough took on absolutely anyone because I was desperate. I needed clients. Now the problem with this approach is you notice some people, they won't be doing the work. They'll be sapping your energy. And the issue with people who are then sapping your energy is that's going to have a huge, let's go back to this one. The people who sap your ability, who will sap your energy, they will then have a negative impact on your other clients. Because if you've had a client where all your energy's gone and it's been like one of those where you're like, oh my God, then the next client, they're probably going to be experiencing a little bit of your low energy. So it's about taking personal accountability and really asking yourself, is client A going to be a good fit for my business? Are they going to be giving me good energy and so on? Because that is genuinely really, really important when it comes down to running your coaching business. Now, a little bit of a controversial opinion. I don't think PT managers, gym managers don't want you to do well. I think they want you to do good, but they don't want you to do really, really well, especially if you work within a commercial gym. And the reason why I say this is PTs, good coaches, they are really, really hard to come by. There's an 80% dropout rate within the first 2 years on being a coach. It's huge. So PT managers, gym managers, they want to keep you within their gym for as long as possible. Now, in my experience, when people begin to outgrow a commercial gym, which should be within about a year or two, because you should be fully booked within a year or two. You should have enough leads coming in within a year or two to then be able to transfer your business into like a smaller CrossFit gym, box gym, bodybuilding gym, whatever, where you literally pay half the rent, or you go online. Now, the issue with those two things for PT managers and gym managers is you're essentially leaving their facility. And especially if you work somewhere like a pure gym or like a gym group where you have to give up hours of your day for the gym. Because if you become successful, that gym manager is then going to have to replace you going on to rent for someone else. And they have to go through the hire process. They have to find another good coach. So this is what I mean when I say PT managers and gym managers, they don't want you to do overly well, but they want you to do good. They want you to sort of stay trapped a little bit within that gym, and that's genuinely what I believe. Because sometimes I've seen interesting takes by gym managers telling people how to run their business, how to grow their business, and in the politest way possible. And I mean this with the most amount of respect to gym managers and PT managers. They tend to be two different types of people. One, they're normally a failed PT. They're normally a PT who's just not done well enough to be able to stay self-employed. Because you think about this, right? So you should be charging easily $120 Australian dollars, or about 60-70 pound an hour when you're a good personal trainer. I don't think, Pure Gyms, Good Life, those sort of gyms will be paying those PT managers, those gym managers, even close to that hourly rate. So if you're good, why would you go become a PT manager for potentially half the amount of money? Or would you rather stay on the tools becoming a PT? Because without sounding too big-headed, within the first year of me being at Pure Gym, I was earning double the amount of money that my gym manager was earning. So why would you take that step back and become a gym manager when you're running a thriving personal training business? You wouldn't. So that's why I think they're normally either a failed PT or, and I would say that this was the case when I was at Pure Gym with the system manager. They're just a PT. They could be a good PT, but they're worried about going self-employed. They're worried about becoming fully self-employed where they don't have that safety blanket. So I do think when it comes down to sort of the advice that your PT managers and your gym managers are giving you, take it with a little bit with a pinch of salt. And what I did when I was back in the UK and what I'm doing now is when I talk to the PT managers and the gym managers, I'm more trying to bounce ideas off rather than necessarily them writing me a strategy. Because if they knew how to write a good strategy, if they knew exactly how to run the perfect personal training business, why are they not doing that full time? Why are they a gym manager or a PT manager? So here's a little bit of a reality. And again, this comes back to something I am big on about taking personal accountability for your current situation. Your income is equal to the amount of value that you're giving out. Your income represents how valuable you are to the world, especially when you're self-employed. Now, this is a little bit of an uncomfortable truth for a lot of PTs because we've all worked in commercial gyms realistically, and we've at least seen the PTs in the commercial gyms who are really, really busy, but who teach their clients crap form, who don't really get their clients results. And I've even seen this in the gym in Good Life, where I started literally 4 weeks ago. Some of the things I'm looking at other PTs coaching, I'm like, what on earth is that? Now, this is not me trying to dig out other coaches, but I genuinely, hand on heart, believe I can offer those people a lot more value than what their current coach is. That's not me being cocky. I've got 4 years of experience. I've got huge infrastructures. I've spent over £100,000 on my business. So I know the value that I have is huge, but I've not had a chance to convey the value that I have right now in that gym. So to the gym goers in that gym, those questionable PTs who deliver in bad form and stuff, they appear more valuable than what I do. And again, comes back to taking personal accountability. It's my job to show more people how valuable I am. And then when you start realizing this, in my eyes, it helps give you a little bit more of a drive. Because in my head now, when I go into sort of the gym, I'm like, right, how can I show how much value I can give people? How can I show that I can help people achieve a certain result? Because at the end of the day, the clients that you have pick the amount of value that you are worth. It is up to your clients how valuable they perceive you. And again, we go back here to taking personal accountability. The story I said about when I have clients who leave me saying cost. The reason why that they left me is because they don't see the value on what I'm charging anymore. So it's down to me to ask myself, where did this value break down? Because look, people remember how they make you feel, not what you say in. And it comes down to, the amount of value that you are giving people. It's going back to like those questionable PTs that all commercial gyms have, yes, they might be questionable. They might not be getting the clients the best results possible. You probably can get them better results. But at the end of every session, those clients are walking away feeling valued, feeling loved. And that's what they begin to care more about than necessarily their results. And I want to tell you a story about this client right here, right now, Mitch. When I told him I was going completely online, he wanted to pay my face-to-face price for my online coaching because he saw so much value in the results I was getting him, so much value behind him feeling more confident, so much value behind me looking after his training programs and so on. Now, every session I made sure that I make my clients feel as valuable as possible. In my head, I'm like, right, what can I do for this client? Have they had a bad day? What can we do to cheer them up? Are they struggling with their nutrition? Have they not eaten before coming to me? And I did have clients in the UK who would struggle to get their breakfast in. So when they arrive to the session, I'll just have a little breakfast bar, or I'll give them a scoop of my pre-workout that I keep in my bag. Just little things like that. You're going to make yourself seem so much more valuable to those people. They're going to know that you care. They're going to remember that you do care about them. And that is going to be the key to long-term success within this personal training industry, is making sure that your clients, they feel as valuable as possible. They feel the love. But right, we've gone over a lot behind mindset. I hope this helps. If you guys do have any questions, please, as always, feel free to drop me a message. Anyway, until next time, I love you and leave you all. Have a great day. Bye.